So welcome back guys again in the class of Java from scratch. So we were in the looping conditions. Okay, just okay. We were at the do while loop. Okay, yes, do while. Now what is happening in do while? The syntax of do while is just I will write here do. Okay, sorry. Initialization part is also done here. I will just write do. I will not write this operation part. Yes, I can write as operation part also. I will write outside of this block while and the condition. Okay. Yes, and semicolon. Do not forget to put this semicolon. It is an important word. Okay, sometimes it is the only while loop where we put the semicolon. Okay, guys. So it is the only loop where we put the semicolon. What is happening in do while loop? It I equals to 1. It is not here. It is the initialization part we have done of the loop. Now, what is the second thing? It not checking the condition here. Okay, I equal to 1. It just goes and I'm writing here condition that I plus I equal to I not equal to 1. Yes, I'm right. If I not equal to 1, so this should run. Okay, now I've given the value I equal to 1. Okay, do, and I'm writing system dot auto print that value of I. Okay, yes, application part is not. Now it's okay. Okay, so what is happening? It just could do. It will print this value of I, that is the value of I equal to 1. Now it will go out and check this condition of y. Okay, it will check that I not equal to 1, but in our case I equals to 1, so this condition become false. But what is happening, the condition is becoming false, then also my loop is executed. My loop is executed. Now why this is happening? Because guys, what happens in the do while loop, at least for one time, okay, what is happening, the condition is not checked at the entry level. Okay, the condition is not checked at the entry level. It is when checked, it is checked at the exit level. So basically we have learned one more thing. There are basically two types of loop: entry control loop and exit control loop. So while and for loop are entry control loop because they provide entry inside the loop only when the condition is true. But do while for the first time, okay, do while for the one time, it not check the condition. Okay, it just run the code. It provides entry in the loop and it just provide entry. Okay, and after entry it checks the condition. After performing the task for one time, it then check the condition. If now this condition become false, it will just bring out the control of this loop. Okay, it will take the control from this loop and give to the next part. The next part which is written in the program. So this is the main difference between do while loop and the while conditions, and while loop and for loop. Okay, so we can use do while loop where we have to at least execute the loop one time. Okay, if we have to at least execute a set of instructions for one time. Okay, but in rather with the conditions, okay, it is not dependent on conditions. I have to just run for the one time, at least for one time the loop should be run. So in that case I can use the do while loop. Okay, simple and sober. Just wait a minute. Yes, okay. So I have given you the brief example of for loop, while loop, and do while. Okay. Now from this figure, we can also understand what is the for loop and while loop is. Like what is happening. First part in for loop, what we do, initialization. Second part, condition. And if this conditions becomes true, the statement has been run. If the condition become false, it goes to outside the control of the loop. Okay, and if condition becomes true, just run this statement and increment or decrement the value. That is updation part. And while this happens, what is happening in while? It has happened that the condition has been checked. If the condition becomes true, the statement is checked, and if the condition become false. Now updation part is done outside inside of whether I want inside of this loop. But what is happening in while condition? The main difference I told you that in for and while condition is that for is used when we know the number of times, the number of iterations to be executed. Okay, if I write I equals to 1 and I less than equal to 10, now in this case I know that I will start from 10 1 and it will go up to when the value of I becomes 10 and I return I plus plus. So I know that 10 times the value is to be executed. Okay, the 10 times the loop is to be executed. But if I do not the value of I, because I have initialized somewhere, when we do the complex program, while loop is much used. Okay, because we do not know how many times um, and how many times whether the condition will become true or false, whatever the condition we have given in the while loop. Okay, so in the simple words, it is the simple thing that while is used when we do not know how many times the iteration is to be done. Okay, how many iterations is to be completed. So while is used at when, and do is used when we have to run at least one time the loop. Okay. And independent of the condition what is given, the do at least run one time of this one time loop. Okay, what time of the loop is being executed. Okay, so the next part of our thing was switch and break. Now what is switch statement? It is also a type of if statement. If else conditions we are giving, it is similar to that but not same, it has some difference. Now what is this? uh, in the notes, if we can say that Java switch statement execute one statement for multiple conditions. Okay, it gives we give multiple conditions, and from that multiple conditions only one condition which becomes true. Okay, which matches the case. Okay, now what is case we will learn, which matches, just understand, which matches our condition and execute that code. Okay, it's like if else if ladder I told you. The switch statements work with byte, short, int, long, enum types, string, and some wrapper types like byte, short, int, and long. Now these are same that we will learn in a wrapper class. Okay, okay. So byte, short, int, long, string, it works with all. Okay, strings were not used in switch case, but after Java 7 we can use strings also with switch cases. Okay, in other words, switch statement takes the equality of a variable against multiple values. Means what is happening? We check the value of a variable with multiple values. Now which if the value becomes equal to that value, variable value becomes uh, equal to the values which we are giving. So which condition becomes true, it executes the code. It will be more clear from the example. Okay, now points to be remember. No, this all will be learned. First look at the example. Okay, now how it works, just look on the figure first of all. This is the switch figure. What we are giving, we give first an expression. Okay, now what is this expression? Just yes, what is this expression? This expression is this one. Int number equals to 20. What I have given, we have given a expression. What? That int is a data type, number is a variable. Now number contains 20. Okay, now what I have written, switch expression, I have this I have initialized, I have given some variable value. Now I'm writing switch, I have to write the, okay, this is the syntax. Switch, do not write this as these are comments. Okay, these are comments. Okay, so let's know switch, I was writing switch, and in bracket, okay, in mm, round brackets we write number is what, the variable name, it can be any, so I have to write here the variable name. Now I will write case statements. What I will write, I will write case statements. Now case statement, if I will write case 10. Now what happens guys, it exactly matches that what number is having 20, the number doesn't have 10, so this condition become false. It will not go to this, it will just break. What is happening now, it moves to the second part and check this. Okay, 20. Now 20, the number also having the 20, it is also having the value 20. The system, it will run this part. Okay, and if this condition becomes true, what happens, it doesn't check the third condition. Okay, it will not check the third condition. Why? Because I have written here break. Now what is the use case of break, I will tell you in just a minute. Okay, so it becomes equal to this condition, and if this condition equal to this condition means this, the case 20 is has been true, so the part of this is executed, that is system.out.println 20. Now it moves out of this code. Okay, now out it comes out of this lock and it is here somewhere. It is here. What is default? I will tell you. Default is used when none of the case condition becomes true. Okay, if I here give the number equals to 40. Okay, so now this case is also not true, this is also not matching, this is also not matching case 30. So what happens? It goes to the default case statement and execute this system.out.println that not in 10, 20 or 30, whatever text I want to print. Okay, so default is used when none of the condition is true. Okay, I can say that these are if and this is the else part also. Okay, now what is the use case of break? I can also just here write string or float variables, but the value also should be here float. Okay, it matches exactly same thing. Okay, what is happening? It matches the exactly same thing. Okay, so guys, yes, yes, so what the points to remember while running the switch is that there can be one or n numbers of case values for switch expression. That is, there can be any number of cases in the switch statement. Here we have run only three cases. It can be any. I can give even thousands of cases here. Okay, there is not any number specified. Or okay, the case value must be switch expression type only. That is, this is int. Okay, switch expression type is int, so the value of case, that is 10, 20, these are also int, so these values should be same. Okay, I'm taking this as int and I'm matching this with int. I'm taking this as a string. Okay, and I'm matching this value with the int, then it will give me an error. Okay, it cannot match with this. Okay, and the second thing is that the case value must be literal or constant. That is, that can be constant, the value should be constant. I cannot write here, if I written here that a equal to 15, I write here int a equals to 15, and I write here in case of 10. Okay, just yes, if I say a equal to 10, yes, that is better. And if I say 10 a instead of 10, then this will not work. What it will do, it will match with the a, it will not match with the value which a is containing. Okay, so variables and it only uses constant and literals, means whose value cannot be changed. Okay, so understood, this is the basic concept and the main important thing which we should remember while performing the switch case statements, performing works or task on the switch case statements. Okay, this is the basic thing we should know. Okay guys, so this is the basic, and thus and third is that the case value must be unique. Yes, if I write here 10 and in the next case I also write again 10, and this will also give me an error. Each case should have some unique value, this is also important. Okay, and if case there is duplicate value, it renders compile time error. It renders compile time error. Okay, it renders compile time, means if the values become true, if the value, I'm saying that here 10 and again I write the value of keys, value of case again 10, it will give me runtime error, sorry, compile time error, because duplicate values are not allowed in switch cases. Okay, the fifth, that the switch expression must be of int, byte, short, int, long, enum, and string. I can use these all in the switch expression. Okay, fifth is that each case statement can have a break. It is optional. Now what is break statement, we can understand from here. If I remove this break statement here from here also. Okay, now what is happening, and I'm writing here the number equals to 20. Okay, what is happening in first case, when the condition was true, the break statement here, when the condition becomes true and here was break statement, it goes out of this case, switch case, it goes out of the scope of this switch case. Okay, now what it first execute this code and it goes out from the case, but I have removed the break. Now what is happening guys, what happens if I do not write here break, it will check this condition 10, the condition is false, it goes to the second condition. Okay, it check this condition is true 20. Okay, it, if this condition is true, it execute this. No, this will not execute this code, it will just, what is happening, yes, we can say yes, this will yes, it will execute this code, and but it also check this condition also, that is case 30. It will not break anything. There is no, it will not go out of this control. But what should happen, the in that case, if we are doing switch case, there should be a break. Why? Because if I have to perform some type of initialization, that we have a condition where we have to do if case equal to 10, then I say number equal to number plus 10. Okay, and if case equal to 30, I should say that number value should change, number value equal to, oh, sorry, number equal to number plus 20. This should do if there is no break statement. Okay, if there is no break statement, and if there is break statement, I will tell all of these things. Okay, what is happening, number equals to number plus 30. Now if there is a break statement in each line, yes, now if there is break statement, the case 20 condition is true. Okay, it will first check case 10, the condition is false, it will move to the second condition, it will check here condition is true. So what is the value of number becomes, the value of number becomes, the value of number becomes equal to 10, the 20 it was already holding, and 20 we are adding, so what is the 40. Okay, in the case when we have break statement, if we do not have the break, just I remove here break. Okay, what is happening, the condition is here too, but if here is not break, it will not become the 40. Okay, it will just become the value of 40, and then again it goes to the next case, case 30, and it will execute this part also. Okay, it execute this part also, it will just go to this part, and it will change, something is, I think something is being wrong here, just wait a minute. Yes, we can say that after break statement it also goes to this case, it again checks this, but there is no need of this case. Okay, there's no need of this case. If I write here, I can say, actually the example is not setting in this case, what I want to understand you, just think that we can say that break, if there is no use of break, it will move to the next part also. If I remove this break from here also, yes, now it's showing this. Okay, what will happen, the default part is also get executed. Okay, it can checks all the condition, it can waste our time also. So what we should do, we should write break after each statement, so that when the conditions become true, which condition becomes true, it gets out of this switch case and performs the other task, other instructions. Okay, this is the simple thing. So the next part of all was that continue. Okay, we have done all, I think so. We have, yes, looping conditions also, break now we have continue. What is this continue do? What is this continue do? Okay, just where is this? Yes, continue part here. What does continue do? The continue statement is used in loop control structure. It is used with loop when you need to jump to the next iteration immediately. It can be used with a loop or while loop also. It can be used with while loop or for loop also. Okay, what happens, just look in this example, what is happening, simple loop. Okay, for loop is being getting iterated. I have written the class name, or now in the main function what is happening, int I equals to 1, I less than equals to I less than or equal to 10, condition is true, it will go into this, it checks if I equal to 5, no, I is not equal to 5, what it will do, it will just print system dot out dot print ln I, the value of I. Now the value of I output is ours here, I am writing the output here. Okay, output equal to first output is 1, and second again it goes to this, it is writing I plus plus, so the value of I becomes 2. It is not equal to again 5, the condition become false. It will just write system.out.print ln I, that is the next thing will be written to. This again goes to I plus plus, the condition again 2, it again goes to the system.out.print ln I, it will print 3, it will print 4. But when it becomes 5, what is happening, I have printed the 4, now it goes to the updation statement I plus plus, the value of I becomes 5. It come here, it checks the condition I equal to 5, yes this condition is true. The control will come into this block, it will check is there something, it will check there is continue. Now what is happening continue, it will do not, it will skip all the rest, means this part is being skipped. Okay, this is the comment. Okay, this part is being skipped, it will not print here the value I. Okay, it will just continue, it will again go back to the for loop, and now again when it goes to the for loop, it updates the value, that is the value becomes 6. And after when the value becomes 6, this condition again gets false, it get out of the, if condition not true, so it will just print the system.out.println I, that is the value of I, that is now 6. So what is happening with continue, I've just, when I write continue, the all the other statements get skipped and it again moves to the loop. Okay, this is the simple concept of continue statement. Okay, this is the simple concept of continue statement. Okay, so now the last topic, how to take input from the command prompt. Look guys, I have not run all these programs, actually these programs are, there is no error, we can run also, but I'm giving this task to you so that you can run. In my case I can run it. Okay, the file in the program you can see from this, or I'm giving you file, I will give you the link so you can run this program, and if there is something problems, come right in the comment section. Okay, this is the homework for you, task I'm assigning to you from this program. I'm just trying to understand how these workings are done. If you will execute that, you will get more idea of this. Okay, I'm just trying to here focus on the theoretical parts also, and as well as clearing the topics. Okay, then our next part is how to take input from the command prompt. Okay, now this program I will get executed. Just wait a minute. I'll tell this. Yes, yes, yes. So when we have to take input from the command prompt, it is a convenient way. Okay, we can say that from different values we can look behavior of the program. Okay, now what is I'm going to run this program. Okay, class command line example. Command line example is the name of the class. Okay, and in that class there is main function and string args system.out.only. I'm writing your first argument is, now what output I will just look, and when I will run it. Okay, I'm writing cmd. Okay, now my file is somewhere, just wait, I'm going to that place where my file is being kept. Okay, next, yes. Sorry. Yes. Class, something is, just wait a minute, I have to just look at the folder where I've been kept this. Java class online. So, okay, Java class 4, that is simple. So, C Java class Yes. Okay, now I'm going to compile this. That is Java C, and the name of my program, that is, the name of my program is input from CMD. Okay, writing it input from CMD. Okay, dot Java. Okay, enter. What is happening? Okay, yes, the program has been compiled successfully. And the program is being compiled successfully. Now I will run this. That is Java C and class name. So the class name of my file in this program was command line example. What was the class name? Was command line example. Control C. Okay. So control. Yes, command line example. I'm going to execute it. Enter. It is just what is happening. It is just want my name. Okay, I'm just giving it a value. Harshit. Now I speak enter. Give some error is there. Okay. Okay, sorry. Yes. Yes. Enter. There's something error on XY annotation passing explicitly requested. Okay, 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 okay. Java command line example. Thread main Java error index out of bound. Okay, zero. There is no. I have written nothing. Okay. Banking H. SHIT. Yes. Okay, just see here what is happening. I have written Java. I have first written Java C. That was something went wrong. Okay, so Java, the class name, and I have given the input Harshit, and it is giving me that your first argument is Harshit. What I've done in my program, as I see, I'm just taking an input from the command prompt and I'm printing it. Your first argument is args0. Now, what is args and why I'm writing here 0? What is happening, guys? Actually, this is an array. What is this? This is an array, and I'm printing the first value of this array. Now, what is array? You will learn more detail in the further classes. Okay. Uh, just you can say that it is non-primitive data type. Okay. So args0, I'm printing the value of args0. When I given the input command line example Harshit, this was the input taken from that array, and it gave me, and it put the Harshit in the first position of the array, that is 0th position. And when I print this 0th position, it gave me the output of my name. Okay, I'll run this one more time. Like I'm writing Java command line example. Okay, and I'm giving name Java classes. Okay, so when I print enter, it gives me just first line is Java classes. So this is the way we can take multiple arguments also. Okay, from command line also. Okay, so we have covered almost all the topic of we have just completed all the basic things of Java, for loop, switch cases. Now you can, what you can do, you can just perform any task like printing some patterns or printing the table from this loop statement or using switch cases. You can perform many tasks, and you can there are many list of programs you can get. We will also provide you. Okay, so just start doing and practicing these things. This was a basic of every language, and in Java we have also completed the basic of this language. Now we will move to the important concept like about abstractions, polymorphism, okay, in the great detail. Okay, while performing all the operations, inheritance, abstractions, polymorphism, encapsulation, data binding, abstractions. Okay, many things we're going to perform. Okay, so thank you guys. This was the topic from here till now.